esteemed value that everybody wants to contribute to the family and sees virtue in hard work. I'm sure that it is an element in China's success.
You also did lots of research and service in China's villages and cities. So could you please introduce us your research in China and in your opinion, what's the most interesting part in your research?
The most interesting part, there's so many interesting parts. I think probably the pace of change is what really interests me. So I first went to villages in Jiangxi and Anhui in 1995. And at that time, many people worked in the cities and their whole aim was to work hard for their life in the village. So to get money to build a new house, so that their son could marry and to get money for the bride price. And then with the more passage of time, again, the goals of the family and the way they wanted to advance through migration changed. And so, for example, older children like 18, 19, 20, they would tell their parents, no matter what, you must make sure little brother or little sister can study because life outside is difficult if you don't have education. And so we see a big change over time that the aim of the migrants is no longer to build a new house and get married in the village, but it is to try to get the resources so that their children can have a good education and get a white-collar job in the city and help a son, but increasingly also parents wanting to help a daughter be able to buy a house or a flat in the city. So this is quite a big change over time. And so you'd have different people, the elderly and the children in the rural area and the adults in the city, but they're all, even though they're spatially separated, they're all working for the shared goal of a family.
Is that the reason you write your book, The Children of China's Great Migration?
Yes, I think so. I felt like so much of the earlier literature on migration, including my own, focused on economic development, on the impacts on the use of land, on those kind of livelihood questions, and very little research looked at relationships and feelings and emotions, and then even less looked at children's feelings and emotions. So I thought looking at the voices or listening to the voices of children would offer maybe some new insights onto both the costs and the opportunities of urbanization, of marketization, and so forth.
So do you see that Chinese culture plays an important role in the country's modern development?
I think one interesting example of this, an interesting development, is that in some families they use the camera that they can watch on their mobile phone to look after the old people in the village. And so they say they want the old person to open the door each morning so they know that the old person is okay. And so people use these new technological developments to carry out responsibilities of family care across distance. Maybe the middle generation has gone to university or they're doing business in the city, but they care a lot about their elderly parents, or they might even have a group of like an elder brother and sister's husband, and they can all check in on the old person to make sure that they are in good health. And so people are adapting the technologies to carry out culturally informed caring obligations, which I think is quite interesting.
Is there any particular topic you are interested in?
Yeah, I'm really interested in looking at ways to promote cooperation between Chinese scholars and foreign scholars to do meaningful, original research that brings together the different perspectives so that there is a richer, deeper understanding of China, but also an understanding that puts China in a comparative context and a global context. The next project is to work with Professor Bao to look at different children's experiences in Shanghai of life during the summer holidays. So still keeping the focus on children. So I'm really excited about that.